If you could guess off the top of your head what the best-selling video game of all time is, what would it be? Mario? No, good try though. Minecraft. Getting warmer. The correct answer is Tetris, and by quite a large margin. To this day, Tetris has sold over 495 million copies on a large variety of platforms, ranging from the original Game Boy to an oscilloscope. Do you even know what an oscilloscope is? I sure didn't, I had to look it up. This is apparently an oscilloscope. You can play Tetris on one of these. Now I know what you're thinking. How can a game be this popular, to be on such a variety of systems and be sold to such a large amount of people? It's because of the game itself. Tetris is incredibly simple, but so addictive to play. Your goal in Tetris is to guide these shapes called tetrominoes down to the bottom of the screen to create rows. Successfully creating a row earns yourself points and erases that row, giving yourself breathing room. Each row erased increases the speed at which the blocks fall, which is an issue because if the blocks stack up to the top of the screen, it's game over. The game calls to us on such a basic level. It asks us to create order out of chaos and rewards us for doing so. That is the beauty of Tetris. So it is easy to see why Tetris is loved by many in the gaming community, and has thusly impacted the industry as a whole. If you've played video games at some point in your life, you've probably played Tetris, or a game inspired by Tetris. Talking about you, Candy Crush. Tetris has even inspired fan games, like this one, called Not Tetris. It looks a lot like classic Tetris, and it even starts off pretty much the same. But then, oh geez, whoa, that's not right. Okay, I guess I can do this. Wait, okay, how do I, okay, this is bad, everything's bad. Anyway. So how did this all begin? The man who started this whole thing is Alexey Pajitnov. On June 6, 1984, he created the game while working for the Soviet Academy of Science in Moscow. He was tasked with testing the capabilities of new hardware, and he did so by making small games for them. He was testing an Electronica 60 when he decided to make a puzzle game based on a game he played as a child. The game was Pentominoes, which had a goal of fitting shapes and pieces together to fit perfectly into the box it came in. However, he believed it would be too difficult with the 12 possible variations of Pentominoes and decided to switch it to Tetrominoes, the ones that we know today. As he was testing his new game, he thought the screen filled up too quickly as he placed the shapes together, and decided to delete completed rows once they were formed. For the name, he decided to combine the word Tetrominoes and his favorite sport, tennis. And thusly, Tetris as we know it was born. The falling popularity of Pajitnov's new game began as a small controlled burn and eventually spread into a wildfire. He showed his game off to colleagues who were immediately addicted. One of his colleagues eventually ported the game to other hardware, specifically the IBM PC, which only helped fuel the fire. Soon Tetris had spread throughout all of Moscow and beyond. Eventually a software company by the name of Andromeda had found Tetris in Budapest, Hungary. They were hooked instantly and tried to get the rights to sell Tetris from Pajitnov. In their haste and without actually making a proper deal with Pajitnov, they sold the rights to a company named Spectrum Holobyte, which brought the game to the US for the IBM PC. It was a huge hit. What followed was a lot of legal trouble for pretty much everyone involved at that time. Due to a combination of Russia still being the Soviet Union and Pajitnov working for a state-controlled academy, the legal rights of Tetris didn't quite belong to the creator. Now everyone who wanted to get the real rights to Tetris had to go through Elorg, a state-run organization that tightly controlled all outgoing software created in Russia. This is when a man named Hank Rogers went to Elorg directly and got the rights to Tetris. He then took the rights and made a deal with Nintendo, which created the true rise of Tetris. Now that Nintendo had the rights, they bundled every Game Boy they sold with Tetris, which went on to sell 45 million copies, and thusly Game Boys. On a later date, Rogers said Tetris made Game Boy, and Game Boy made Tetris. After this huge event, Tetris was ported to numerous consoles and platforms, eventually turning into what we know it as today. However, during that entire time of Tetris being sold and profited from, the creator, Alexey Pajitnov, hardly saw a dime until 1996, when the rights of the game came back to Pajitnov himself from the Russian state. He then founded the Tetris company and took out trademark registrations for all things Tetris all around the world. Tetris has become one of the most prolific games in all of gaming history. It has made several top 100 games of all times lists in addition to receiving numerous awards and recognitions. The impact it has had on pop culture past gaming has also been significant, where several TV shows and movies have given Tetris some spotlight. There has even been several scientific studies revolving around Tetris and its effect on people. So the next time you're playing a puzzle game on your phone, remember the humble beginnings of Tetris, of one man in a small computer lab in Russia.